Reverend Nichols was, and they lived at Madrid, New York, which is way up north of the Adirondacks, not far from the Canadian border. And we were up there, I think, for probably Christmas, and uh, very, very cold, not far from Canada. And he's a birder. He's a world-class birder, and was really responsible for the Christmas bird count that the Audubon Society had been promoting for years. Like around Christmas time, so and so of the birder gets the ability to get a group of people, and they go out and see how many species they can find in a day and how many individuals they find of them in a day. And I think he did the whole ball game. I think he handled the whole business for the Madrid, New York bird count, whatever he called it. And I remember I had the Hudson Jet. My dad had given me his Hudson Jet because he'd gotten another one, a new one. And it had plastic seat covers on it. Well, the car sat out all night, the night before, and these bird counts start early in the morning, and they go all day. Of course, short days that time of year, but temperature was way below zero, 20 below, something like that, maybe deeper more. Well, I remember I'm going to drive. He's riding along looking for birds, and as I square myself away underneath the steering wheel, I put my elbow back into the seat cover, and it shatters just like a glass window. That was a cold day in Madrid, New York, and we went all the way up to the St. Lawrence River. That was part of the territory for him to see birds. I couldn't tell him one from another, but he'd see them and recognize them and give them a count. And I think Nicky was along to keeping the bookkeeping on it, some of it, and then we went around to some other towns in this circle of area. I'm not quite sure how the size is, but we got a pretty good sized hunk of northern New York State and Ontario, I guess, maybe Quebec, I'm not quite sure. But cold day and Christmas bird count.
Well, you had to be quiet when you watched birds, but in the car, did he talk much? Because he was a quiet guy.
He was a very quiet guy, and hardly talked on anything. Talked a little bit, well, certainly about the birds. He's an authority on birds, and he told me lots of stuff I never heard of. But we didn't talk about much else. A little bit about the communities in northern New York, north of the Adirondacks, and but he just didn't ever really talk very much. Often wondered about his preaching, because that just didn't seem to square with the profession that I'd known of. And however, it was an interesting cold day in December in northern New York with broken seat covers.